Hey guys, it's Gene. I wanted to start a new playlist on my channel about air rifles and air guns. I've been an air gun enthusiast since the 80s. My first pellet rifle was a Crossman Power Master 66. I really had just a ton of fun with that, and ever since then I've always had an air gun, and I've got just a few in my collection, but I thought I'd like to share some of what I've got. I've watched a lot of other great channels, off-the-shelf air guns and walnut and steel and air gun detectives, and I know when I'm looking at an air gun, I'm looking for a lot of content, and I thought, maybe I could add a little bit to that. Probably won't be as extensive as those channels, but I do have decent place to shoot. I've got a chronograph, I've got a couple cameras, so I'm going to take a shot at doing some. If people will, engage with me and comment, I can definitely do some more stuff, and I'm open to suggestions. Right now, I've got the Crossman Vapor Max, and it's been sort of an interesting story. I pre-ordered the Vapor Max like on August 6th or something from Amazon. Finally got released, got one a few weeks ago. Got the gun out of the box. Pretty excited to get it because they're marketing this gun as, at over 1,000 feet per second. It says on the box, small game and pesting. And I thought that would be a really practical air gun for someone to have. Well, anyway, that first shot, thing was shooting 10 inches to the left. I had to, move the rear aperture all the way over just to get it centered. Shot some groups, wasn't very happy with it. Ended up putting this Barska scope on there. Same thing, as soon as I shot, it was way off. I had to spin like a full revolution just to get it centered. Shot some more groups just in case. I thought, iron sights, 25 yards, maybe it's me and my vision or whatever. Still had poor results. So I ended up contacting Crosman customer service. They were really, really nice to me. Sent them some photographs of the gun and the UPC, and sent the rifle back, and they paid for the shipping label for that. So then I had to wait for the second rifle. Just got this a couple days ago. Took it out. I was like, hey, let's see if it shoots straight. Fired a shot. It was reasonable, just standing. It was shooting, fairly straight. Went to fire a couple more shots and heard a noise in the pump handle. Right here on this pump handle, one side was completely unscrewed and flopping around in there. Really disappointed. Spent a lot of time communicating and waiting on a replacement rifle. I really wanted to start off my air gun playlist with a new gun and kind of get the jump on this one and get some early content out. So I wasn't able to do that. Instead of sending this thing back to Crossman, I ended up just taking it apart, fixing it myself, and I've shot some groups, and this gun's doing much, much better. I actually did not clean this one at all, and it's been shooting really good. I shined a flashlight down the bore and it looked good. I might shoot some like those wool pellets through the gun later on just to see what that does. Let me show you a couple of things I've figured out in my initial testing. I'm going to go show you some targets that I shot today. I started off with this sight-in target just to get the rifle going. These initial shots right here are just Crossman Premier hollow points. I ended up shooting some of the RWS Superdomes, and you can see it's 25 yards. It's pretty good size. It's over an inch, but they're all in the ballpark. I ended up shooting the Crossman Premiers again here. Sort of had two different groups, and then here I shot some of the Barracuda Hunter Extremes or whatever, and those didn't do very well. So I started messing with the rifle some more, trying to get it zeroed in, and right here was the RWF Superdomes. This is like an incredible group. And this is at 5 pumps. So I got a really tight group, 4 here, 1 here. I started playing around with it, trying to get it completely zeroed. Got a couple nice ones in the bull and here. These are just random shots from before. Then I went ahead and was like, what's the deal here? 5 pumps versus 10. So here's another group with the Super Domes, which are working, you know, pretty well out of this gun. I shot a few. Decent group, you know, maybe an inch group. Pumped it up 10 times and they really spread out. So I started thinking, you know, is 5 the sweet spot? I don't know. You know, I was kind of buying this gun for that power and you know, to potentially do some pesting in small game. So I went up to 7 pumps. It's kind of hitting in between and still holding a really tight group. And then right here's where I shot the Norma trophies, 10 pumps. So it's just sort of a long string, but they're all, you know, really close. So you're probably 1.25 inch group. So what I've noticed so far is 10 pumps, you know, they spread out. I tried some of that shooting with my first gun, and it's in the short where I had some just, you know, really wild groups. But I'm gonna do some more shooting with the gun. I kind of did a little grape tomato challenge earlier and hit it first shot and it exploded. That was pretty awesome. But looking forward to bringing you guys some more content. Just wanted to throw this out as an intro. Since it took so long to get the gun, I'm going to do some more shooting with it, and we'll definitely get some shooting on camera. It's doing a lot better now, so I can say I'm satisfied. You know, that first one was terrible. And, you know, getting the replacement gun with the pump arm, you know, pulled off the stud. I thought it was stripped out at first, but luckily it threaded in and seems to be holding. I'm a lot happier with the accuracy. Hopefully it'll hold up, and we're going to do some more pellet testing. The Super Domes have been great in a lot of guns. That's one of my go-tos, no matter what the caliber. But next video we'll do some accuracy testing with some different pellets. So I'd appreciate you guys subscribing, you know, commenting. Let me know what you think. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it definitely helps me out. If I get some interaction and stuff, I'll definitely do some more airgun videos. I've got a few pretty cool ones that I'd like to show you guys. I'm going to do that regardless. But thanks for tuning in, and there's more coming soon. Bye.